the assault and robbery of a 101-year-old man in Darwin. On March 5, 2025, a crime occurred in Darwin City that left residents horrified. A 101-year-old man, who was peacefully traveling on his mobility scooter, became the victim of a brutal assault and robbery. The elderly man, whose name has not been released for privacy, was minding his own business when three women, aged 14, 15, and 19, attacked him. These young women targeted him while he was traveling in the Karama area of Darwin, an otherwise quiet neighborhood. They confronted him, assaulted him, and stole his belongings. The assault was violent. The elderly man was pushed off his scooter, leaving him helpless and vulnerable. The robbers didn't stop there. They not only stole his personal belongings, but also left him with visible injuries, including cuts and bruises. Thankfully, the man was found shortly after by witnesses, who immediately called for help. Paramedics arrived at the scene, and the man was rushed to the hospital. Though his injuries were serious, he is expected to make a full recovery. After the incident, the police were quick to respond. Officers started investigating the scene, collecting evidence and questioning witnesses. It didn't take long for them to identify the three suspects. The authorities managed to arrest them within hours of the crime. The suspects, aged 14, 15, and 19, were charged with aggravated robbery and deprivation of liberty. This case is particularly shocking because it involved such young offenders. Targeting a vulnerable elderly man, it left many wondering how and why these young women would commit such an act. The crime has caused an outpouring of shock and disbelief from the community. Neighbors expressed their horror, and many have demanded stricter penalties for the offenders. This incident has sparked a broader conversation about crime in quiet neighborhoods and the safety of the elderly. Social media quickly erupted with people discussing the crime, with many expressing their support for the victim and their anger at the perpetrators. Now the legal process begins. The suspects are facing serious charges: aggravated robbery, deprivation of liberty, and possibly more. If convicted, the consequences for the young offenders could be severe, though their youth might factor into the court's decision. While the elderly man is recovering, many are hoping that justice will be served and that these young criminals will be held accountable for their actions. This crime is a stark reminder of how vulnerable our elderly population can be. It also raises important questions about the root causes of youth crime and what can be done to prevent such shocking incidents in the future. We can only hope that the victim fully recovers and that justice is served for this heart-wrenching act of violence. Please share your thoughts in the comments below. What do you think about this crime and the impact it's had on the community?